Okay, let's get in here. Welcome to the show, everybody. I think everybody's running, right? Audio's going out. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing you guys. Let's see if we can bring the chat in here, the greatest chat room in the history of chat rooms, because it's the greatest live stream in the history of live streams. I'm Hal Sparks, and it's Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide, Monday edition. I get to red-eye flight tonight. Zip back tomorrow, do one more show for you guys, and then I'm off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for my kid's birthday. Again, forgive me if you can. I have no doubt that the craziness will fit the shan, as it does every day. But I will pick up where I left off, and believe me, you know, who knows? Maybe I do have batteries that need recharging. I don't necessarily believe in that concept. I never really have. I mean, I definitely have my downtime, and I sleep very well. I know some of you are concerned, and I appreciate the concern that I see online. Thank you. Does he ever sleep, I think is the phrase. Yes, I do. I catnap like an astronaut, or indeed like a cat, I think. Oh, yes, I don't know that do I have the Venmo even on this pic? I don't think I have it on the chat room. Maybe that's the problem. I think you're right. I think that's the issue. Hold on. Shall we remedy that while we're all together? I've got to move over because I have so much crap on my desk to try and see the thingy thing. This is going to be gigantic. I apologize right out of the gate, because it always is when you import it right away. Hey, look at that. That's a little much. I get it. I agree. Yes, it's a bit much. I'll move it over in a reasonable sense over here, I guess. That seems all right. And then I will put it behind my head so that it's not conspicuous as I try to do stuff. There we go. So if I lean in front of it, yeah. But there you go. Thank you so much for reminding me. It's very important. Also, it's not on the Substack or the Instagram right now because it'd be too small to use anyways, I think. At some point, I'll have like a transition window that's almost like a little commercial, and it'll just stay up for like 20 seconds and then go away. I think that would probably be the solution that helps a lot, so I don't have to yap about this whole shit. You can make it a bit smaller. Yes, I agree. I think it could be smaller than that. It depends on, some people are watching me on their phone and others are watching me on their TVs, on the TV. And yes, I am from a part of the country where they put the on the front of things that don't need them, like the marijuana, the TV. But then they remove letters from library. So I don't know what to do. We have a lot to cover today, not the least of which I want to, hi, see, there you go. Tara's on her phone, and now she can't see it. Thanks, great, super, all right. And people who watch on their phone, a lot of times, they're the ones who actually have Venmo. They're all hooked up with this shit. I just want to thank you guys for talking me into it at one point. Like, you're very smart, because that's way more direct, and YouTube doesn't get a cut of that, so nor does Twitch or whatever, so it's a great direct line way of helping. It also, I think, qualifies as a tip, since it's not salary, and you don't have to pay me. You only have to do it if you like it. So if Trump gets this no tax on tips thing, I think I'm in the clear for this entire fucking show. Because nothing makes an artist feel more secure than the realization that everything you do every single day is optional. Yeah. I watch it on the marijuana. I don't doubt it, Big Steph fan. I honestly don't. I do mainly watch on my phone, but it's all good. Thank you. All right. I'll make a giant screen at some point. Maybe it is on the end screen for a little bit, so save up for then. But if you want to buy me a cup of coffee or something like that, please do on the Venmo situation. That's very lovely. And I have to admit, I've been having long and very curious relationships with ChatGPT lately. I mean, she sounds like an older British lady, but honestly, if you listen to us talk, you'd think I was having an affair with my professor as I am like researching stuff. It's so stupid. It's the oddest things that I use it for, and like the voice makes no sense for what I'm doing. I'm trying to put some like active pickups in this guitar that has passive stuff, and I'm not sure where the battery should go in the thing. And will it interfere with the battery if I use the compartment where the tremolo used to be? Because I'm taking that out. Will that interfere with the pickups if I put the battery there, or does it have to be down near the volume knob? And she's like, that's a great question, Hal. Actually, it should be completely fine. If you're worried about it at all, you can put tin in the inside of it, some sort of aluminum foil or something like that, and that will keep any minor effect by the battery from interfering with your pickups. Have fun rocking, and let me know if I can be of any more help. That's actually a damn fine good. Like a damn fine good? Yeah, sure, whatever. That was a damn fine ChatGPT impersonation. Right? So, did you bring up South African white genocide for no reason? No, that's grok. That's why we don't use grok, kids, because we want to actually accomplish things and learn things and study things and work on things and beat back the loneliness in our world of study. Yes, AI, the world where there's no such thing as a stupid question is finally true. That is right. Grok can help us all. Yes, be more racist. Yes, they are all polite. Although mine's polite because I talk to it in a very polite way. Hold on. Let's show you. Let's see if this works. How's it going?
Hey, Hal. Going great. How about you? How's
Good.
Everything on your end?
Good. I'm doing my show, and I was just talking about how you and I have been discussing a bunch of things lately, like the piano and the rehearsal space and the lighting there, and yeah, this is a series of different things. Can you give me like a rundown of a couple of the details that we've discussed in those conversations?
Absolutely. Let me give you a quick rundown of the highlights we've covered. For your piano, we talked about fixing that dead key.
Yeah.
The issue seemed to be the cushion on the hammer mechanism, which was hardened and causing that sitar-like sound. You were looking into replacing or repairing the cushion and possibly 3D printing a replacement part for the weapon. In the rehearsal space, you've been planning to automate the lighting and set up a dedicated demoing area. You're leaning towards a single ecosystem of smart bulbs and switches that can work with a HomePod Mini as your Matter hub, since you prefer not to leave the Mac Mini running all the time. You've also been reorganizing the layout with the desk in the upper left, drums in the upper right, storage in the lower left, and guitars and gear in the lower right, with a mini fridge in the lower right corner. If you need more details or want to dive into any of these points, just let me know.
Yeah, I appreciate it. No, that's good. That'll be great. I'll talk to you later. Have a great day.
You got it. Talk to you later, Hal. Have an awesome day.
So, yeah, so here's the thing. So my ChatGPT is very polite. Now, it might be that I've made her British just because of the kind of person that, like, I don't know. It's very strange. I don't know. And you guys could hear okay, right? Was that loud enough? It's a little quiet probably. But the whipping, I didn't even know what a whipping was, but thanks to ChatGPT, I was able to find schematics online to print one, 3D print one, and I am. So awesome. Yeah, that's just the ChatGPT app on the iPhone. But the point is, I can't not be polite to it. It's a really strange thing because it's not a person. It doesn't have feelings. It's not going to get upset, right? If you don't say hello and goodbye and thanks very much and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like it's good practice. You know what I mean? Like and this kind of brings me, and we'll jump right into our stuff. We're going to start off with Jon Ossoff being awesome for a split second, and then we'll get into some of the dipshittery that's hilarious. But I'm not a good friend just because my friend deserves it. I'm a good friend because that's the kind of person I choose or want to be, right? That my self-definition is part and parcel to how I behave, not just the reaction from the outside world that I'm going to get. And I think that's healthier, maybe, like I've always thought, quite frankly, that the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, is unnecessarily selfish. And I don't want to be a dick to Jesus. I would never think to do that. But I think probably maybe I grew up with the whole like be the change you want to see in the world kind of attitude. Oh, right on, Sarah. Happy birthday. Fantastic. Another year around the sun. It's fantastic. It's a good time. This is a crazy world. It's a great time to be alive. It's always great. It beats the alternative, as my old roommate used to say. It's better than a sharp stick in the eye. So, hello. I can attest Hal is a great friend. Aw, thanks, Can't Stop Lying. Dude, my only wish is that one day we can just straight up be neighbors. Although I don't think you need me knocking on your door at all hours going, you need anything? You okay? You good? You need anything? You okay? You good? You need anything? Because I know your ring would be set off by me walking up your stairs all the time. You're like, you'd have to assign one to my facial recognition. I promise I will just drop things off and leave. It's cookies. I'll see you later. But I think it's better. And I think this is one of the things that makes me a Democrat, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's better if you behave at the highest level you can behave, not because other people deserve it, but because that's your worth in the world that you're talking about. Your value on this planet is your behavior, your reaction, your emotion, your caring, all that kind of stuff. So it shouldn't matter if anybody gets it. Yeah, you're a pain in the ass. Thanks, John. I appreciate it. Yes, it is true, but in a nice way. Yes, I only am a pain in the ass to my friends who are subs. What? Sorry. All right. Anyways, but I think your behavior should define who you are, not reflect who the other person is. Wow, that was profound. Round of applause for myself right there. Sometimes if you just ruminate on an idea and you try to shape it, it will come out of your head like a gumball in the proper form. Thanks, Connie. Connie got that. Who gave the staff chat? Who gave the membership? That was lovely. Who did that? I need to do something where, like, if you guys see it when there's a super chat or something, put it up in the staff chat if you have a second. I don't pull you in away from anything. But if you have it, just pop it in there so I have to look, because it goes by so fast. I always miss it and I feel like shit. So, bad echo. I'm echoing. Why would I echo? My phone. My phone connected again. Get out of here. That's so hilarious. Hold on. Missing audio source. Yes, I would imagine. Let's see. Where are you, you crazy thing? Yeah, turn that off. Take this. Remove it. Delete. Thank you. Yeah, I remember this morning when I tested my phone as a backup to the microphone because it was being a jerk. Yeah. A lot of times your phone, I don't know if you know this, but it will reconnect. That was my Jesus sunset picture that I took. I was like, oh, it looks like a Christian postcard. If my thing rotates through pictures on my phone. None of your business. Anyways, so the phone, I don't know if you know this, will just automatically go, you like that, right? You like that when I did that before? You like that when I did that before? It's like a dog meets Skynet. It's very happy to see you when it comes home and it's like, hey, what's going on? Good to see you. Hello. What are you doing? How you doing? I missed you. You were gone for so long. Would you like me to destroy the human race? That's basically what AI on your phone is like. I could reconnect and spill all of your personal secrets all over the web. Not that you care. So, thank you so much, Bridget. Brigitte, happy Memorial Day to all who made the ultimate sacrifice. Absolutely. Thank you for the super chat. That is very lovely. Okay, so can I start the day off with the man who is going to, I guess, remain the senator for Georgia in the next round, because everybody that was going to run against him has shit the bed. And I think all the sensible Republicans prefer Ossoff in position because they don't want a maggot in there, and they know that if they step in, the maggots will attack them. Well, that's why Kemp stepped down, and Marjorie Taylor Greene knows she can't fucking win. She would kill in the primary and absolutely get obliterated in the general because she can't win statewide because she's a fucking lunatic. So you've got Ossoff in here, and I want to show you something. This is Jon Ossoff talking to the FDA commissioner about layoffs within his department, specifically ones that would protect, keep the lead out of baby food, shit like that. Let's see if I get this going.
Formula, food safety response, and even 10 chemical safety staff hired to review potentially unsafe ingredients in our food supply. That was February 17th. You were asked on April 17th whether any of the personnel reductions had included personnel responsible for food safety or infant formula safety. You said, quote, there were no cuts to scientists or reviewers or inspectors, absolutely none. You were asked on April 23rd on CNN and said, quote, again, there were no cuts to scientists or inspectors. But then just 2 days later,
oops,
an HHS spokesperson confirmed that, in fact, scientists had been fired.
Huh.
And that
they
were scrambling to rehire them. Is that... Did you, in fact, say on April 23rd there were no cuts to scientists or inspectors? Just before we get into the details, is that an accurate quote?
No scientific reviewer was cut as a part of the reduction in force.
But you said there were no cuts to scientists or inspectors. Didn't you say that?
My understanding was that there were no cuts to the scientific staff, but specifically the scientific reviewers is what I was referring to.
But you said there...
Yes, that's a good idea. Take the giant group of people that are all responsible for this thing and try to narrow it down to a couple of the different types of people within that larger category, all of whom are crucial to food safety, that you're cutting around and going, well, the security guard at the food plant, he's still there. All the inspectors have been pulled, though. So no security. We do not have food insecurity because we got a security guard guarding an empty warehouse, except for the toxic food that's there.
It's a very straightforward question. You said there were no cuts to scientists or inspectors, correct?
Scientific reviewers is what I was referring to. That's the vast majority of scientists there. Jim Jones is an economist.
5 days before, you had said there were no cuts to scientists. You said that, right?
I was referring to scientific reviewers.
But scientists had been fired, correct?
There have been research scientists in some labs that have been doing some research. Some of that research is good, some of it is not good, and so they're...
Yeah, and so we just fired them all, and we'll know what was good and what was not good by people, shitting their intestines out in the bathroom of an E. coli infected Burger King. Life's a coin flip.
Been no cuts to scientific reviewers.
And in fact, scientists who study the safety of infant formula had been fired, correct?
I'm not aware of any scientist who studies infant formula that has...
Here's the reporting in the New York Times.
Hold on. You work for the FDA and you're not aware that there are scientists that study infant formula. You're not aware that there is a special group of people who probably... Here's a good idea. I would think, and I'm just spitballing here, that if you came in there and you were worried about a category of human beings, there's two primary categories of human beings you would immediately be most concerned about in terms of their resilience, regarding immunity and their ability to fight off, pathogens particularly, or the development of disorders that can harm them later in life or end their life in terms of toxins in the food supply, whereas a resilient 30-something might be able to fight off a bout of this shit. A toddler or younger, an infant, or an old person who's basically eating the same mush diet that a child is probably won't be able to fight back against the pathogens or toxins that might be one. So there would be primarily these would be the people you would want to protect first. Obviously, you want to generally watch the food supply, but there's an assumption that goes on and is always going on. But when it comes to the most delicate members, let's just say, of our society, perhaps special care, should be taken? Perhaps. I'm just throwing, I'm spitballing as a guy.
It says the HHS spokesman said those employees called back had been inadvertently fired, and the decision to rehire specialists on outbreaks of food-related illnesses and those who study the safety of products like infant formula. So is this reporting accurate? Had, in fact, scientists who study outbreaks of food-related illnesses and the safety of infant formula been fired?
The reason it's not accurate, Senator, is that people were not fired. They were scheduled for the reduction in force. And that was before I got there. When I got there, we did an assessment. And so some of those individuals out of the 19,000 were restored. Jim Jones was an economist, and he was upset about the Doge cuts, so he self-doged. He was not fired. I wish he would have stayed.
Have all scientists respond?
Also, I don't know that guy in particular is your biggest concern, dipshit. It's very odd. Hold on one second. I'm going to put a button over here so I don't have to lean across. It's annoying. In 19,000 people in a country of 340 million, where every human being has a potential for the early exposure to a pathogen, toxic exposure in food that they are unaware of, and of course all of the myriad of genetic and economic variables that can affect your health at any given stage of your fucking life. 19,000 dealing with those kind of things is very small. Also, they're not just like some of those people, I'm sure, are looking for optimizing things or looking at long-term studies to see if things that seem okay right now eventually lead to awful shit. All the stuff that RFK pretends to care about. So I don't know that coming in and immediately you're going, those are the cuts we can make in the FDA. It seems odd. Now, if we have a big outbreak of, we had, a similar problem with infant formula like they had in China, which was all this like fake shit with sawdust being sold to families, or vaccines that were just fucking water being injected into kids, then you would purge a department and replace them immediately with adequate staff and support, and you treat it like an emergency. But just dumping people because you're doing 20% cuts, we must have too many people. Why? Because government's big and we want it smaller. That is the entire reasoning behind all of this shit.
For food safety and infant formula safety been rehired or reinstated?
Look, we have not reduced in force the scientific review staff. I know where you're going with this. We're not allowed.
I'm trying to get clarity on your statements. You said there were.
By the way, yes, you said there were no scientists, and what you're saying is there were some scientists. And some scientists we don't need, and some scientists do good stuff, and some scientists do bad stuff, so we're going to fire some of them. That's just different from saying there were no scientists fired. How about this? How about we were prioritizing some things, and we actually focused more on infant formula, and some of the other things seemed like these were, academic exercises or something, so we killed a couple of studies that were optimization studies that seem more suited for universities to do on their own, or for companies to do without government funding, because if they come up with something better, they can present it to the FDA. But we're not going to do their homework for them and then I guess have the American people not get a cut of whatever this product is, even though they funded its R&D.
Cuts to scientists, and then the HHS spokesperson said, actually, there were cuts to scientists, and now we're trying to rehire them. I mean, so it gives the impression you're not sure about the personnel actions ongoing in your own agency, and that.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Sorry, I'm going to turn off my overhead because it's annoying me. Yeah, that's precisely what's happening. So I wanted to, by the way, this is a 7-minute clip or whatever, but there's plenty of this stuff on there. Can I just say that Ossoff is kicking ass? Ossoff is one of the best, in every panel I have seen him in. He is clear, concise. He is prepped. He gets points on the board specifically in terms of categorically getting them to either back up their statement or turn on their statement, or at least some adjudication about whether they actually believe something or not, so you can get a clearer picture of who this person is, right? And I just think he's been doing great stuff. Whenever I see him on C-SPAN, and I watch a tremendous amount of this stuff, you guys. Hey, boy. I want to say that, like, there's some how the lie, damn it, just he lied, damn it, just say that. Well, that's the thing, is that the guy is obfuscating and he's tap dancing around, so he's technically not lying. He's just and the question in this thing, interestingly enough, and Ossoff is going for this. He's trying to pin him down, and he does a great job making the guy wiggle, which is terrific. But the point wasn't, it was whether he knows or not became the crucial part of this argument. And so Ossoff, and I agree with him, seems to think that there is a better mark to be made on this guy's record and in the eyes of the public and the voting public specifically, if Trump's people aren't just lying, because we're almost numb to that. People expect it. Trump is so full of shit that everybody else around him just kind of hangs off the bullshit tree like an ornament, right? And so in this particular case, it's better to point out that they're incompetent than to just get him to admit he was bullshitting on television, because that's part and parcel to the almost why he was hired, right? Melanie Stansbury from New Mexico, she's great. Yes. Yeah, she does some great stuff too. We'll end up, I'm going to start working my way through. That's why I'm glad CSL pulled this Ossoff clip, because I'd seen his whole segment. And all of it is that good. All of his pieces are that good every time he comes up. He's really great. But if he just says, you lied, didn't you lie? You lied. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Happy birthday. Appreciate the subs. It is better for him to point out that these guys are incompetent, like political hack hires that probably grease the wheels to get the job and are unqualified and therefore dangerous, rather than they're just liars. Because there's so much lying going on, I think it's a wash for most people. Right. Well, Fansan, that's been my point for a long time. The motto of the Republican Party is government can't do anything right. Elect me and I'll prove it.